think we've been asking ourselves the wrong question our entire lives. We're constantly told, find yourself, find your passion, find your purpose, figure out who you are. But as I'm experiencing life, the more I'm starting to believe that we were never meant to find ourselves. We were meant to create ourselves. I've spent a lot of time wondering, who am I supposed to be? What am I actually supposed to be doing? And am I making the right choices? And then I realized, you were never meant to think your way into becoming who you are. You were meant to build it. In all honesty, I've had too many moments where I felt that everything had to be all figured out. My career, my future, my purpose, my direction, and who I was becoming. And unfortunately, when everything didn't feel like it was all figured out, I had this tendency to feel like I was falling behind. But I started to see life differently. Some of the biggest changes in me didn't happen because I suddenly figured myself out. They happened because I made a decision. I decided to start something. I decided to walk away from something. I started again. I put myself in rooms where I didn't necessarily feel I belonged in, and slowly I made versions of myself I didn't even know existed. Here's my first hot take. You don't have to find your passion. Sometimes passion comes after you start. I mean, you start something new. You become better at it. You find more interest in it. You discover you're capable of something that you never knew you were, and suddenly something that never formed part of your plan becomes something that forms part of your identity. You just need to stop waiting for that magical moment until everything is all figured out. Just start, explore, put yourself out there. Hot take number 2. You don't have an identity problem. You have an evidence problem. You keep telling yourself, I'm not confident. But when was the last time that you actually gave yourself evidence that you could trust yourself? Every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you do something that you're so afraid to do, every time you choose to do something you actually want to without choosing what would make others happy, that is building evidence. And that evidence can completely change the way that you see yourself. In all honesty, becoming isn't always exciting. It can become lonely too. The version that you are becoming, people don't always understand. You tend to outgrow habits, environments, people, expectations, and even the old versions of yourself that you were once comfortable with. And that can sometimes make things a little bit uncomfortable, and that's okay. Growth doesn't always have to feel like finding yourself. Growth is sometimes losing the version that you thought you had to be. Change the narrative a little bit. Instead of asking, who am I? Start asking, who are you becoming? What would that version of you do today? What would she stop tolerating? What would she start doing? What promises would she keep to herself? What would she do even if nobody understood? You don't need it all figured out. You just need to know your next step. And maybe one day you'll look back and realize that you didn't find yourself. You created yourself. Not overnight, not perfectly, choice by choice. And maybe that is actually the ultimate secret to freedom and peace. Knowing that you are allowed to change. Knowing that you are allowed to start again and create a version of yourself that you never even imagined you could be. So go, create yourself. And remember that this is our truth, our reflection, and our eyes.